Hi, I'm back home in Peru and I haven't talked to the camera or to you for a long time. So I thought I would make an update because, yeah, things are quite interesting. I'm back here now for a week. The trip home was terrible. It took me 55 hours to get from the house where I was staying to my house. And I actually had not eaten anything before my trip, but then on the trip I on the plane I ate something, and then afterwards I was really feeling bad about having eaten and was going into some kind of small meltdown. But then I checked in with my inner guidance, and my inner guidance was just laughing their butts off because of me going into meltdown because of having eaten a few bites of food. And the theme was like, okay, for you this is your last life on this earth, and you put way too much importance onto the fact of having eaten just a little bit of food, you know, that kind of feeling did I get. So I calmed down and was able to refuse food for, you know, the rest of the trip, apart from I drank juices and actually had a Starbucks double chocolate whatever frozen thing in Toronto in the airport. That was like, good in that moment as well. Okay, and then I got to Lima and I had to wait like 4 or 5 hours until my flight, which was okay. But then my flight, we were already on the plane, and then we were told that there were technical difficulties and we were brought back into the terminal, and an hour later the flight was cancelled. And yeah, I was booked on a flight that was way later, like hours later, 5 hours later. And we got a voucher for breakfast. And in that moment, I didn't feel really good anymore. So I actually had a juice and a sandwich. And the sandwich part kind of threw me off, because after having eaten on the plane, I was like, I'm not going to eat anymore. I'm going to be strong until I get home, and then I will have juice made by myself. So the fact of having that sandwich really kind of confused me and made me sad and stuff like that. But then I caught myself again, and afterwards I was even happy to having had that sandwich, because the flight I got on in the end was again delayed for an hour. So it was after midday when I arrived at Cusco, like 5 hours, 6 hours later than I was supposed to have arrived, even 7 hours later. Okay, so that was that. And then I was really, again, happily doing my juices here, drinking lots and lots of juice and doing really well and feeling good. Got back to work and even got back to the gym. And well, since some days I'm cheating much more with food, which is okay for me, because I can kind of contain myself. It's not like I eat a little bit of cooked food and then, or yeah, whatever food, and then I kind of, like begin to binge on it. In my case, it's not like that, because I have been eating raw for some months already, for like 4 years or so. So I'm quite like used to being a bit strict in my diet, but then again, allowing myself to cheat. So whenever I would eat raw, I would allow myself to have a few bites of cooked food here and there whenever I wanted something. And right now it's the same for me. So for example, on one day I had some bites of avocado and a little bit of curry. And then yesterday I had a little bit of pasta, like 2 spoons of pasta. And today, I mean, I cheated a bit more. We were at a restaurant, so I had one of these cheese wraps, small ones, with avocado, and I even had 2 French fries. So, I can limit it to a very small amount. And, that doesn't really affect me. I'm happy to be able to come from a place of fullness and not from a place of lack where I have to kind of forbid myself things. So if it gives me joy, I have it. And I have it in a very moderate way, which doesn't throw me out of, my pranic consciousness. So yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the pranic consciousness because I'm having really very interesting experiences with that. I mean, I do consume calories, and I've calculated it's about like 800 calories a day, and which is not very much. And I have been to the gym twice and have done the first time I have done 45 minutes of a Zumba class, and yesterday I did 66 minutes plus over 20 minutes of other exercises. So I did really well. And then afterwards I went straight to work, and then went to do a hotel visit, went back to work and did my rounds there. And then I went to the market, and then I went home and, made juice. And in the afternoon I needed a nap of 1 hour. And then afterwards I felt energetic again and went to talk to the architect and, like doing all kinds of stuff and not feeling too bad. So I'm being really active and happy and, like so in love with this pranic lifestyle. And for me, what I found out is that prana is not like some kind of weird particles or such a thing, but it's more like a frequency. It's a frequency we tune into. And if you're tuned into that frequency can sustain you and nourish you. So that's what I'm discovering about prana. And for example, this morning I woke up and I felt so like, so held and nourished and, by this energy or frequency. And it's like a very beautiful and overall enriching experience. It's like a gift that keeps on giving, and I'm discovering more about it every day. And, my energy has shifted so much as well since I did this course, or my frequency. I like the word frequency more. I feel that like I'm in a much higher frequency. I don't like to swear anymore. I mean, I do swear still, but not like before. It's like it's not in my frequency anymore to swear, which is weird. It's really weird for me because I really used to like it. And what else? I'm so much calmer and I'm so relaxed. I don't fret about stuff anymore. It's really weird. I'm really relaxed. I'm so joyful most of the time, energetic, and yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. I enjoy life, and I enjoy work, and I love to be with the people here again. And even though I have made the decision that I will go back to Germany, I will emigrate back. I'm not kind of working myself up about that, and just every day doing little baby steps to kind of, get everything done which needs to get done before I leave here. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm so happy I've made the previous videos, because they kind of, remind me of the frequency I got into in the course. And of course, like regular life brings like regular life stuff, and maybe I could fall out of this frequency again, like I did on my trip back home, the 55 hours of travel. And then I needed to eat, like way more than my regular cheats. So yeah, it's very interesting all in all, and I am really happy I did this course. Okay, so there's something I forgot to talk about, which happened today at work. So I don't know if you know, but I'm a medical doctor and work at a private clinic. And today I went into the clinic and chatted to my amazing colleagues. And I happily chatted to them about my experiences with prana. I told them about my experience in general, and that I like to explore like the limits of consciousness and the limit of the physical body and what we can do, and and then you might imagine what happened then. They began to challenge me. They were like, "Oh my God, your hemoglobin, I'm sure it's down to 7, and your potassium, I'm sure it's down to I don't know whatever, and your proteins in your blood, and blah blah blah," and they challenged me. So I took a blood test, and at the end, lots and lots of blood, lots and lots of tests were done, and to their surprise, not to mine, because I feel really good, everything came back perfectly normal. Apart from my proteins, which are a tad bit on the low side. From the normal value, a tad bit below. But, I'm not even worried about that, because my body has to still kind of adjust to this new way of energy or frequency or nourishment or whatever, or life situation, whatever we want to call it. So yeah, that was cool. I really like that, because I do think that we as medical doctors know very little about the workings of the healthy body. Plus, in this situation, it's a thing of, mind over matter in some ways, where, you mentally can kind of influence matter, in this case, the physical body. And, it even gets crazier if you add in some kind of spiritual dimension to that. So, yeah, that was cool. I really liked that. So that's something I wanted to add. Okay, I leave it there. Bye.